What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. So the best news of the week, Nigerian army rescued 293 girls and women from Sambisa forest.
And then I heard that they rescued another 163 and another 234, making about 690. I'm like, what?
Yes, oh. And these are not the girls kidnapped from Chibok, by the way, which tells me that the Chibok girls are just a part of a larger picture of what has been going on in northeastern part of Nigeria. Only God knows exactly how many people were kidnapped. A special thank you to all our military men. Thank you so much. We all know that you guys can do it, and now we're seeing it. Thank you so much for all your sacrifices. And my president, Mr. Jonathan, do whatever you did this time around, my Oga, I beg, do it again so that the Chibok girls can also come home. Although, I honestly wish that you did whatever you did now when you did what you did when the deed was done. Meaning that the search for the kidnapped people should have been intensified as soon as they were captured. I'm so very happy for the girls that were rescued and their family members. We are all so happy for you guys. But I can't imagine the psychological effect this would have on them. Hopefully, there is a plan to rehabilitate and reintegrate them back into society. Nonetheless, though, better late than never. We appreciate everybody that protested around the world, and we're hopeful that soon the Chibok girls will also come home. Now to the pomposky of the matter. Did you guys hear the news this week? Yes, so you know that a lot of people say that the fear of Buhari is the beginning of wisdom. Yes, in fact, my dear friend Tunji, you guys remember Tunji? He was telling me that the other day when he went to a bank, that somebody said to him, "Oh boy, you better get in line. Buhari is now the president." I said, yes. So Buhari announced last week that he would probe the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, about that missing $20 billion. Don't forget, it was 49, and then they said it is 20. Maybe somebody sent Mr. Buhari this tweet. The tweet says, "Baba, now that you are there, don't look into her eyes when she's briefing you on the missing 20 billion. As soon as Buhari made that announcement that he will probe NNPC, suddenly my Oga, Mr. Jonathan, gave the order that the NNPC audit should be released. Nothing has been sitting for months too, and they already told us that no money was missed. Niger, like only for the audit firm to say that they cannot vouch for the integrity of their findings. I said apparently NNPC did not grant them access into some vital parts of the company's account. Not only that, after the audit was done, NNPC suddenly produced some bogus receipts just to explain away how they spent about $18 billion. So that was why the firm reduced the missing money to $1.something billion. I keep saying it. We are not stupid though, Mr. We are everything going on, and there is God, and we are not stupid. Imagine these people. What if Buhari didn't say that he will probe NNPC? You just keep quiet about the money.
Will you keep quiet? No. Chai.
Hey, what is wrong with you now? This is a serious issue. Will you keep quiet? Don't you see that we have a problem? We're talking about 20 billion. This is not a joke. You did not probe, you did not question, you did not interrogate or fire the petroleum minister, our madam. Hey, is it not written all over her that there is a $20 billion working somewhere? You can just see the $20 billion on the madam now. What other proof do you need? Despite the fact that this same audit exposed double subsidy payments on kerosene and petrol. There is God though. Hey, yes. Meanwhile, you fired the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Jonathan. A lot of people are saying, and people are talking, they are saying it's because the man did not cooperate in the rigging of the election in Rivers State, which I doubt, because I know you would never rig an election. But as I was saying, you won in Rivers State. Why would you still fire the guy? Someone that was close to retirement. And there is God now. Nigerians are waiting on Mr. Jonathan. We want to know if some people are truly touch not my anointed, or if we are all equal. Although I know that we are all equal, but some are more equal than others. Yes, and as for Oga Buhari, hey, what was that about your team trying to ban AIT from covering your activities? Haven't I said that on this show that you should always call me before making some decisions? Oga Buhari now, why? Yes, we know that AIT lost its credibility during the elections by airing defamatory documentaries and spreading all sorts of lies about you. You are not the only one offended. Everybody with the correct mental faculty of the Oblangota was offended. In fact, some of us were more offended than you were. Yes, but my Oga, you are not the president. You are not just Mr. Buhari or just a candidate. You are not a president. You are a public figure. So whether you like it or not, people have to cover everything that you do. Why are you giving people an excuse to sympathize with AIT? You should have just ignored them completely. Didn't they tell you how much Fox discredited Obama here in the US? They were like AIT of Nigeria, but the man never paid them attention. Fox has a reporter inside White House. In fact, twice. Fox invited him for interview and he went. That completely broke their backbone. But if you ban AIT today, for whatever they did, who would it be tomorrow now? Keeping it real? This is where I give kudos to Mr. Jonathan. He never banned Keeping It Real. In fact, I heard that he was watching Keeping It Real day and night. And he didn't ban Dr. Damages despite all the crazy skits that Dr. Damages did about the president.
Stupid Damages, sitting in the toilet. Bola Tinubu, sitting in the toilet. Yes. Mr. Babio.
Stop it. I didn't ask you to play it. You know how I feel about skits like that. You don't mess up my show, y'all. What is this now? Why are you putting up the question? I don't want to hear anything the man has to say. You know, he has no credibility.
My friend, what is this? You mean to tell me that Buhari doesn't know about this? Child, you are fired. And you let me run my mouth like that, yabbing the man. Why didn't you just tell me? Although this thing about him not being consulted is making me worry. You know, like God, you know, will always say I was not consulted.
I'm really glad that APC came out and said, we are not banning AITO, we are not banning anybody. And Vice President-elect Osinbajo, thank you for that tweet that General Buhari's administration will encourage free press. Yes, now to a serious issue. Remember the man that walked from Lagos to Abuja, the one I talked about last week? Yes, I heard that now everybody in Nigeria is trying to make news by getting on the streets to walk from their home to Abuja. One man is now walking from Yola to Abuja, God help him. Another one is walking from Maiduguri also to Abuja. There is gods. And then I heard that another man is riding his bike also from Kaduna to Lagos, Ekoile. They said that one wants to go and thank all the Yoruba people for voting for Buhari. So I said before everybody gets on the street, you guys know that whatever a man can do, a woman can always do better. And these people, they ain't got nothing on me. They cannot outdo me. Which is why I have decided to embark on my very own journey. I will be trekking from New York City to Abuja. Of course, Koledowo will come with me. Yes, we should make it to Nigeria and to Abuja by the end of Buhari's tenure. So yes, look out for us because, you know, we have a lot of swimming to do as well. Unfortunately, we won't be able to bring you guys the show while we are on the journey. But we are hoping we will meet a lot of you on the way. Koledowo, what is that? Why are you frowning your face? What is your problem? You can talk to me after the service. Excuse me, my people. Yeah, what do you mean you don't want to go? You want me alone to commit myself to this kind? No, you want to kill somebody? We are going together by fire, by force. As I was saying, Koledowo, turn back the light. Turn back the light. Hello? Somebody. Moving on to Burundi. Have you all been following the riots? Yes, so about 6 people have already been killed. I'm talking civilians. It all started when Mr. President's party announced that he will be running for 3rd term. My people, imagine that man. Hey, he's trying to pull a fast move on his people just like OBJ, Obasanjo, tried to play us in Niger. And he calls himself a born-again Christian. No, hey! In fact, I heard that his wife is an ordained pastor. Look at these people. What kind of Christians are you? What kind of Christians are you people? Can you imagine 10 years in power and nothing to show for it apart from integrating women into political system
and ensuring peace between the Hutus and Tutsis? Yes, we appreciate that.
You refuse to provide basic amenities for your people. I hate when people do wrong things and then say that they were led by God. You know, I was so glad when I heard that the Catholic Church refused to endorse this man. Even though some people are like, oh, he's a man of God. What kind of man of God will change the constitution when the constitution clearly states that only 2 terms is the maximum that you can do? 2 terms, 10 years is enough. Now, whatever you did not do in 10 years, why should we expect you to now do it in another 5 years? Mr. President, the people have spoken. They said they no longer want you. It is time to go. Is it by fire, by force? And they don't want you anymore. Electricity, good health system, good education system, adequate water, you know fit do. All we hear is that the man is a good soccer player. He likes sport. vote. Now soccer man picking go chop. For months now, this man has been intimidating opposition members. Just imagine, born again Christian, using violence in various parts of the country, sending policemen to prevent his very own people from protesting. There is no freedom of protest in Burundi. These policemen are killing even young people.
Do you know that Mr. President has blocked the use of social media so that the world won't know what is going on right now in Burundi?
And his pastor wife has not said anything. Already more than 20,000 people have fled to neighboring Uganda, and about 162,000 Burundians were given citizenship in Tanzania last year. Remember, it breaks my heart because, you know, Burundi just got over a civil war that ended in 2006, in which ethnic violence between the Hutus and the Tutsis resulted in the death of more than 200,000 people. More than 200,000 people were slaughtered. 48,000 people became refugees in Tanzania, and 140,000 people were internally displaced. They just ended that in 2006. That is different from the genocide that happened in 1972 in Burundi when the Hutus were killed by the Tutsis dominated army. And don't forget another genocide in Burundi that happened in 1994 when Tutsis were killed by the majority Hutus. But you know what's going on right now in Burundi? It's not even a Hutu-Tutsi issue. No, the president is Hutu, yet the largest opposition is the Hutus. Everybody is rejecting this man. I learned that many members of his own party are also saying they don't want him. So why must you force yourself on people? So if I were you, Mr. Presido, and your pastor wife, I would step down with immediate alacrity. How many people have to die before you will get the memo? You guys know I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of genocide, how many people know that there's a genocide going on right now in the Central African Republic? A lot of people are calling it ethnic cleansing, but the truth is thousands of people are dying in the hands of soldiers and militia gangs. Young boys and girls are being forced to fight religious war between Christians and Muslims. There are reports of beheadings, public executions, villages are being burnt to ashes. Yet, the world is looking away. Remember that a few months ago, I told you guys about how the Muslim Seleka group were causing havoc, killing people, and how they seized power in a successful coup. But guess what? The Christian militia group has been retaliating for more than a year now. And they've killed many more people than the Muslim Seleka group did. In fact, they say that they want to kill all Muslims in the Central African Republic. And they said this is an ethnic cleansing. What kind of cleansing is that? Which Bible do these people read? Which Bible are they reading? And then I heard that they're not really Christians, that they mix voodoo with Christianity and everything together. I'm like, oh my God. Clearly, these people are just out to cause trouble. I don't know why they have to weave religion into it. When would we stop using religion as an excuse to kill people in Africa? A lot of children are being killed. These children were born into their religion. It's not as if they chose their religion. As you can see in this video, these are Muslim families selling their belongings at ridiculous prices so they can buy bus tickets in order to flee the country. At least 800,000 people have fled the country for their lives, and more than half of those people are Muslims.
In the capital Bangui, there is only one district left where Muslims are even remotely safe. On the side of the road, there is a new trade in cheap household goods. Whole families are trying to sell almost everything they own.
You know, it's very obvious that France doesn't want to let go of control in all these French-speaking countries. And Central African Republic has never had a really good leader. In fact, many Central Africans will tell you that the best president they've ever had was Fidel Bokassa, simply because he was the one that built most of the structures still in place in that country. So he's seen as the best president, despite the fact that this man was accused of being a cannibal who ate human body parts, especially those of his opponents. Those are the ones that he did not feed to the lions and crocodiles in his personal zoo. This man killed so many political rivals in his time. He tortured a lot of people. Thieves at that time were punished by having their ears and hands cut off. He even crowned himself as the emperor. He's already a president, so yet he said no, that is not enough. He crowned himself as an emperor in a ceremony that cost the Central African Republic $20 million. By the way, his diamond encrusted crown alone cost $5 million, and this was 1977. $5 million. just for the crown. As a matter of fact, there was a time that Bokassa insisted that all students must wear an expensive school uniform sold only by one of his wives. Yes, he had 17 wives and 50 children. And when the students refused, according to Amnesty International, Bokassa himself supervised the killing of 100 students in the Central African Republic, an act of genocide. So it breaks my heart that Bokassa is still considered by many people in the Central African Republic as the best president that they've ever had. So France kicked him out, and David Dacko, who was ousted, was reinstated, and he established having only one political party. And then Kolingba came in and suspended the constitution, ruling with a military junta until 1985. Patasse came in, and he was so bad his tenure was known for widespread destruction of properties and heightened ethnic tension. And then there was Francois Bozizé, who suspended the constitution. He came in through a coup as well, and then he came up with another constitution and promised to hand over power as soon as it launched, but no, he did not. And then we had Jotodia, who was the leader of the Seleka rebel group. He also came in through a coup. That was in 2013, and now he fled the country when the unrest started. Right now they have a female interim president, but to be honest, I don't think that she has things under control either. She went to speak somewhere in her country, and as soon as she left, the people lynched a suspected Seleka member.
Catherine Samba Panza, the new president. She leads the National Transitional Council. Here she makes a speech to the reformed National Army. Moments after she left, a suspected Seleka member was beaten to death.
Right now, French troops are on ground, but they're not really preventing the anti-Balaka from killing Muslims.
In fact, some of these French soldiers are sexually assaulting kids.
They say they came to help us, but they have actually hurt us. It's not what we wanted. It makes me feel uneasy. It makes me so angry.
Once again, if not for the war and unrest and bad leaders, this is actually a country rich in high-value natural resources. Diamonds, timber, gold, uranium, possible oil depots, and of course wildlife. I mean, Central African Republic is actually a beautiful country. About 15% of the country are Muslims, and for the past 54 years, they've lived in relative harmony with the Christian majority. It all started as political violence, but now it's factional and religious fight. The country is the size of Texas, by the way, with a population of 4.6 million people. That's it, just 4.6 million people, and they are killing each other like this. Please, please keep the Central African Republic in your prayers, and guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of elections, Togolese President Faure Gnassingbé has been declared the winner of the elections in Togo for the third time. That means he's been given another 5 years. Don't forget that his father was president for 38 years and himself has been president for 10 years, making 48 years under one family. If this man should serve another 5 years, that means his family would be in power for 53 years. And what upsets me the most is that he has refused to do anything apart from having girlfriends and babies. He studied abroad, yet he didn't do anything for his people. But I guess if you are corrupt, it doesn't matter where you studied. And of course, in Sudan, Al-Bashir has also been declared president again after 25 years. Gambia is also preparing for elections next year. The opposition candidate has been touring the Gambia, and he seems to have a lot of supporters. Although looking at Mr. Jermaine, I think that the opposition leader would need a lot of prayers. Here, you understand. Lest I forget, though, happy Independence Day to all my Zimbabwean people. The country is now 35, and Mugabe has been in power for never mind. And of course, many people are now saying that there is nothing really to celebrate after 35 years of independence. Togo also had their independence, and of course Sierra Leone. So happy independence to all of you guys, and guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I forget, my heart goes out to the people of Nepal. More than 5,000 people have been confirmed dead in the earthquake, and they are saying that the death toll could get to 10,000. A lot of historic buildings were also destroyed. As we speak, some people are still trapped under collapsed buildings, by the way. So please, let's continue to keep Nepal in our hearts. And for those who lost loved ones in that earthquake, please accept our condolences. May their souls rest in peace. And you know, while we are remembering Nepal, it baffles me that till now our leaders have been silent about the fact that in the past 2 weeks, about 1,000 people have drowned in the Mediterranean Sea between North Africa and the southern coast of Italy. 1,000 souls, just like that. And the AU did not call for an emergency meeting. In the last 2 weeks alone, hundreds of people from Eritrea, Somalia, Senegal, Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana have perished. Why is it that we are quick to condemn what happens elsewhere, but nobody is saying anything about why a lot of young Africans are desperately living via deadly means in search of better life in Europe? Eritrea has the largest number of people in the 2 boats that capsized. Clearly something is wrong. Or is it that our leaders know that they are also to be blamed for not developing our countries? I think that must be it. Do you know that the EU, that is the European Union, has already had their own emergency meeting about this issue? And the conclusion of their meeting is that they will not open the doors to African migrants, no matter how many of us drown trying to enter Europe. Not only that, Europe is now saying they will start burning immigrant boats. And do you think they will stop at those ones that are taking illegal immigrants? If we don't see anything now, by the time they start burning houses, who is going to stand up for us? I honestly don't blame Europe though for not wanting immigrants, because you know, if our leaders will just give us basic amenities, good roads, water, stable electricity, good education system, and good healthcare system, people won't be so desperate as to go through the Sinai desert where they are being kidnapped and their body parts are being harvested to be sold, or they won't go through the Mediterranean Sea where they are drowning in hundreds. Thousands of people have drowned now. And I don't know if you saw the video of the boat that capsized recently in Libya, but from the video you could just tell that those people did not care. Did you see how long it took for them to throw some life jackets? Wow. So those people did not care whether we drown, and our leaders obviously don't care as well. In fact, when hundreds of Eritreans died last year that I talked about on this show, their president said that they were not real Eritreans because they had tried to escape from Eritrea. I'm like, what? African leaders, this is the time for you to kori. This is the time for you to wake up and take responsibility. If not, others will take responsibility for you. But you guys know that I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I leave today, I like to read at least one of your emails, and the one that I will be reading is by Oloyede Dimeji Solomon, and he actually wrote me about his cousin by the name Temitope Folani, who has been in the hospital for like a year now. He said that his cousin lost his father in 2012, and then he fell sick in 2013. He was admitted at UCH Ibadan, but when the situation got worse, he was later transferred to Apollo Hospital in New Delhi in India, and he's been there since January 1, 2014. When he got to India, they detected other complications. Apparently, the guy was suffering from osteomyelitis, infection of the bone, and because of that, they've had to replace the bones in both legs as well as his hips and one knee. So you can imagine all that this young man has been through, and he's only 22. So please, if you're able to help them out, it would be greatly appreciated. Budgeted cost of 2.8 million naira later increased to about 6 million naira for 3 different surgeries. And he wrote me because apparently they are short by $7,000, and because of that, they've refused to discharge him. They just kept him at the hospital. And you guys know that I've talked about how sometimes patients are kept in the hospital and eventually it leads to a lot of complications. This is the address of the hospital. I've called the hospital myself. I called the person that sent me this email just to verify a lot of things. I also called the person that is sick, so I know that this is legitimate. So please, if you're able to help them out. The mother of this person that wrote me, Dimeji Solomon, his mom has spent about 6 million naira already, and she's like completely out, and she has children that are going to school and all that. So now the family is just, they don't know what to do. The guy is stuck in the hospital in India. Every day he's spent in the hospital, they keep adding to their bills. I have pictures of the sick person. I have a lot of the things that he sent me. I have them on my blog, adeolafayeon.com, if you want more information. But if you are able to donate, this is the account number to donate to help them out. So please, if you can help him out, that would be greatly appreciated. Alright guys, that's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.